What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K22 Next Gen. Today, Kyrie Irving to the Lakers. Is it still a possibility? We really don't know. I would never count the Lakers out of anything. Obviously, they've been known to make some pretty big, crazy trades, and Kyrie Irving is the newest target on their radar, and today we're going to be doing that rebuild. So these are rumors that have been kind of floating around now for a couple weeks. I'm finally getting around to this rebuild, and the reason I'm kind of pushing it off so far is because I really don't see a way this deal happens. Again, I know I mentioned it to open this video. The Lakers seem to always have a way to get things done. And so I'll show you the trade in just a second, the one that we put through, man. And let me tell you, this was not a good trade at all. And of course, one more time, I do want to hear from you guys down below in the comments section. Any other video ideas you guys do want to see, make sure to let me know. Of course, if you guys have not yet, if you are new around here, could subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it, as we are on the road to 30K. But yeah, my thoughts to Kyrie Irving to the Lakers. I'll give them a little bit more once we get into the gameplay. But let me just say, if the Brooklyn Nets accept a trade package like this, I don't think Sean Marks deserved that extension that he got. So let's hop right into this, man. Kyrie Irving, Lakers rebuild. So I spent a good probably 10 to 15 minutes looking online at just some potential Kyrie Irving trades to the Lakers. And none of them seem anywhat realistic. But we have to think about this. None of them are going to really seem good no matter which way you point at them. Because Kyrie Irving is obviously the best player that's going to be traded in this deal. The Lakers are not a team with a ton of assets. Taylor Horton-Tucker and Kendrick Nunn are basically their two biggest pieces. They're both getting traded today. So I'll just go ahead. I'll show you guys real quick what the actual trade is. The one I did here is a little bit different than the proposed one I found online, but I'll show you guys it right now, and this is it. So it's a three-team trade between the Brooklyn Nets, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the San Antonio Spurs. That's a lot to unpack right there on the screen, so let me just try to simplify this. Let me explain to you the one online that I found, and then the one I actually did. The one I found online was the Lakers get Kyrie Irving, Seth Curry, and Joe Harris. So three Brooklyn Nets players. The Nets get Josh Richardson, Kendrick Nunn, Taylor Horton-Tucker, and a 2027 unprotected first-round pick from the Lakers. And the Spurs get Russell Westbrook, a 2029 top three protected future second-round pick. So that's a dog shit trade for pretty much not everybody, but like that's not a good trade if I'm the Brooklyn Nets, basically. I don't mind it for the Spurs. I mean, you get Russell Westbrook, who maybe can do something for you, and then you get a second-round pick for somebody like Josh Richardson, who probably is not going to be there very long anyways. And then the Nets, obviously, are the ones that get screwed here. What I did to this trade, I just updated a little bit. I do not think that the Nets would just give up Seth Curry in this deal. I think they'd be much more willing to give up Joe Harris. So I didn't include both of them. I only included Joe Harris. And then the pick was actually a 2026 pick. I just didn't have access to the 2027 picks quite yet. So those are basically the only changes we made. Kendrick Nunn we gave up, Taylor Horton-Tucker we gave up, and a 2026 first-round pick. And we got Kyrie Irving and Joe Harris here in LA. So let's go over this roster really quickly. Obviously, Mr. Kyrie Irving is here. We gave him a nice fat contract extension when he got here. I'm assuming if he gets traded to the Lakers, probably one of the first things he's going to do. I don't know if there's a deadline you have to wait or something, but yeah, he's going to stay with the Lakers. He probably wants to play the rest of LeBron's career with them. We'll see. The game signed Elfrid Payton for me. They also signed Mason Jones, had a qualifying offer. Scottie Pippen Jr. here as well. We got Lonnie Walker, came over in free agency. You got Austin Reeves here. You got Max Christie. LeBron, obviously year, what is this, 19, 20, 21, whatever the hell it is at this point. But he's 37 years old, 94 overall. He's obviously going to be here for the remainder of the video if he doesn't retire. Joe Harris here as well. Could be a good shooter off the bench here for the Lakers. Again, I don't know exactly what this rotation is going to look like. They could find a way to maybe even start Joe Harris. We're going to probably have him off the bench today. They signed Troy Brown Jr., Juan Toscano Anderson in free agency. Just some bench fillers, some guys that can play some rotation minutes. Anthony Davis going to be our starting power forward. Could maybe play the center spot as well. You'll see why in just a second that he's not starting at center, and that would be Thomas Bryant, who signed a one-year deal with this team. A little bit of a prove-it deal. Probably going to be starting, if I would imagine. Might come off the bench some nights. I can see a way that he starts just to maybe have a really good front court of him and Anthony Davis, but kind of a prove-it-year deal for Thomas Bryant. I think he's going to probably get more money somewhere else this offseason or the next offseason. Then Damian Jones came in on a 2-year deal as well. So this Lakers team, it looks a lot better with Kyrie Irving, obviously. Taylor Horton-Tucker's gone. Kendrick Nunn's gone. Taylor Horton-Tucker was always that guy that they wouldn't trade for anybody. Like, he was just one of their most valuable assets. And look, I get it. It's not easy to trade young players with potential, but I think Taylor Horton-Tucker is Taylor Horton-Tucker. So if they do this deal, somehow get Kyrie Irving, it's a smart option to give him up. And then Kendrick Nunn really didn't even play for them. Dude had like the longest injury of all time for like a not real injury. So yeah, let's set the rotation. This is the team for year number 1. Let's get into it. First season for us here in LA under new head coach Darvin Ham. It's going to be Kyrie Irving, Lonnie Walker, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Thomas Bryant. Again, there's probably a ton of variations that this team can do with this rotation of guys. Probably some nights that you'll see maybe Joe Harris start instead of Lonnie Walker. There's some nights that you'll see that Anthony Davis starts at the center spot, LeBron at the 4, maybe Joe Harris at the 3, whatever it may be. There's a ton of variations. This is the way we're going to go with the lineup. I think this is the best value we're going to get with these guys on this team. And it's not bad. It's going to be Kyrie Walker, James Davis, and Bryant. The bench unit, Joe Harris, Stanley Johnson, Austin Reeves, Elfrid Payton, who's not on this team in real life, and then Damian Jones. The game just auto-signed him for me, so I'm going to play him. We need a backup point guard anyways. I'm really not in the mood to play one of Mason Jones or Scottie Pippen Jr. It's just not happening. So it's not a bad team. We're definitely championship contenders. I mean, hell, we have 3 All-Stars, 3 stars on this team, so we should definitely be back in the playoffs here in LA. We should be at top of the Western Conference. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 1. The first season is over. Luka Doncic is your MVP. I know, it's a shocker. We are the 2 seed here in the Western Conference, so the addition of Kyrie Irving obviously helps this team a ton. Another shocker, I know. We're number 5 here in the power rankings as well, according to 2K. Chet Holmgren, Rookie of the Year. Kevin Porter Jr., 6th man. Giannis, Defensive Player of the Year. Tyrese Halliburton, Most Improved. Nate McMillan, Coach of the Year. The Atlanta Hawks appear to be pretty good. The Pelicans are atop of the Western Conference. So we have the same exact record as them, funny enough. They have the tiebreaker, though. Let's look at the numbers. Kyrie Irving led us in scoring. Then it was LeBron and then Anthony Davis. So 3 guys scoring over 21 points a game. Obviously, really, really good. This 3-headed monster is absolutely insane. As a basketball fan, I'd love to see it. Personally, I'd rather not my Celtics maybe play them in a finals, but we'll see. As a basketball fan, it'd be fun to watch. Lonnie Walker, Thomas Bryant, Joe Harris, Elfrid Payton, Austin Reeves, Stanley Johnson, Damian Jones, Juan Toscano Anderson. I think the purpose of this rebuild, this one kind of writes itself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the stars are obviously here. We're going to have some work to do, especially if LeBron retires. But the main process of this rebuild is kind of done. It's kind of out of the way. So it's going to be working on the bench. And before I get into that, let's get through the Sacramento Kings here in round 1. I don't know who designed this little thing. It's anytime you have a team with the color yellow in it, they always take this bright ass like fluorescent yellow and just shove it in your face. So it's this goddamn bright. But yeah, this is a decent Kings team. I don't really know how they're in the playoffs or how they really won a game against us. Spurs are in the playoffs too. We got Memphis here. John Morant, Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, Jackson Jr., Steven Adams. We got Tyus Jones, Brandon Clark, Zaire Williams off the bench. This Memphis team is low-key one of my sleepers to be in the finals next year. And that's not really that low-key because, you know, they were, again, in the Western Conference semifinals. But you get my point. And they're up 3-1 on us right now. 3-2, we're battling back a little bit, and we lose in 6 games. So is LeBron going to call it a career? The Pelicans win the... Yeah, here we go. That 5-year Pelicans rebuild is coming soon just because I cannot deal with that. Let's see. Does LeBron retire? He does not. So LeBron is not done yet. He wants one more probably go around here with Kyrie Irving. He wants to get banner 18 here in Los Angeles. He want to go out and do it before the Celtics. Probably not going to happen. All right, let's hit the draft lottery real quick. I don't think we have anything. We barely have any picks anyways. So yeah, let's sim through that. It's going to be the Wizards, Jazz, Rockets, Thunder, and Pistons. Not a ton of surprises. Staff signing, I'm fine with Darvin Ham. It was his first year here. Obviously, there's a lot of talent. We don't love losing in round number 2 when we're a favorite, but I can live with it. We have the 30th overall pick from the Pelicans. We have number 27 in round number 2. I'm okay, never mind. I guess I might use that. Actually, can I just trade it for 2 second round? No, nothing? All right. Well, I will use the 30th overall pick. I'll draft somebody there. Again, I can sort by like the favorites and like the DE ranking and, you know, the power rankings and everything like that. I just don't know a lot of these guys, so... DE rankings has like this dude Pete Graham as a potentially high overall. 2K has him there as well. NBA.com as Christian Braun. The reason I sort by overalls is because that's where I think the highest overalls are going to come from. Ooh, this dude Clyde Bass could be overseas for a year. You know what? Screw it. Let's do it. Let's send this. Ooh, or Yuri Titov, which is a fun name. Yeah, I'm going to do that. We're going to draft Yuri Titov there. Again, probably a horrible pick, but I don't really care. Christian Koloko, another pick, another big man. Cool. Welcome to Los Angeles. I don't ever think either of these guys are really going to play. Wow, he's actually 72. He might play a little bit low-key. Are really going to play for us, but I'm fine to have them. Max Christie can come back. Again, this is not a realistic rebuild. So Troy Brown, I do not think that he should have a qualifying offer. Mason Jones, I'll give him one. I'll give Austin Reeves one as well. Juan Toscano Anderson probably shouldn't have one either. I don't know what it is about the contracts that I signed those guys to. But yeah, LeBron is here. He obviously needs to be re-signed. I'm not just going to let LeBron James walk away. That would be unfortunate. I'll give him the no trade clause as well. Just maybe it makes him feel a little bit safer or whatever. But yeah, I wasn't trading LeBron. Stanley Johnson, how did you play for us last year? About 4.5, 2.5, 1.5. That's not bad. I mean, 46% from the field, 39% from three. It's not horrible. You know what? I'll give him a contract. I'll give him about $4 million a year for 2 years. Again, it's not great, but I would like to maybe improve this team because obviously somebody like Lonnie Walker is now gone. And yeah, we could have really used him on this team for another season. So let's look at some options potentially that we can go out and sign. And I'm not going to lie to you, I might make another decently sized trade. And yeah, it's probably going to include somebody like a Patrick Beverley here. Again, thank God this is not a realistic rebuild, but we're going to sign Pat Beverley, and I'll see you guys with a trade. So I realize we need a starting shooting guard. We also need a starting center, and very thankful for us that Clint Capella is really easy to trade for. So Joe Harris, Pat Beverley, our first in 2 seasons. Yeah, that would be next year. And then Clint Capella is going to come back here to Los Angeles. Obviously, we have now, who the hell did we have? I just forgot his name. Thomas Bryant. Sorry, we moved on from Thomas Bryant. He needs a lot more money than that we have right now. So, yeah, we're still in the market for a shooting guard, and honestly, our options are probably not going to be too great. It's really unfortunate, but it's just kind of the way this team's built right now. It's like maybe somebody like Gary Harris, who I'm really not in the mood for. Like, can I honestly maybe package these guys for, like, somebody a little bit better? Because we have pretty slim pickings at this point. Like, I really don't want to start, like, Max Christie. Oh, brother. Yeah, so let's do Gary Harris, and we'll also throw in Elfrid Payton in our another first-round pick. We'll do it from this one from the Hawks. For a shooting guard, Ochai Bagage, or however you pronounce his name again. I'm terrible with names. You all know that. Jaden Hardy's here as well. 7 points, not horrible. I'd like somebody a little bit younger, somebody with a little bit of team control would be preferable. So those two guys right there are definitely both options. Jaden Springer here as well. 28th overall pick in the 2021 draft. But let's go with Ochai, or Okai, I believe. I'm going to call him Ochai. Again, probably the wrong pronunciation, and I'm sorry. I apologize, but I'm dog shit with names. You all know that. So we get younger at the shooting guard spot. He hasn't really played a ton, but there is team control, which is huge for us. So, yeah, this is the team. We need to definitely get some backups here. LeBron and Kyrie need some backups. And unfortunately, the options are, yeah, they're pretty limited right now. Let me sign Alex Len. Again, you might consider, oh, wait, how Austin Reeves is listed as shooting guard. I low-key might move Austin Reeves. I can let these two guys go. I might move Austin Reeves potentially. Who's my backup shooting guard? It's Max Christie. Actually, yeah, I need an Austin Reeves backup. So, actually, Austin Reeves will be the backup for Ochai. Holy shit, this is a lot to unpack. All right, I'm sorry. These rebuilds like this tend to not get away from me, but they tend to just not be overwhelming. But when my teams suck, my teams really suck. So, I either need a backup small forward or a backup point guard. I really don't want Elfrid Payton back. It might be what we're going to have to do, though, which is really unfortunate. I need our small forward's an option as well, or I might just not let LeBron have a backup. All right, we're going to take Elfrid Payton back. That's absolutely awful, but it's the trade we're going to do. So he's back. He'll back up Kyrie Irving, and then LeBron won't have a backup. We will sit here and wait on Austin, or I will, and I'll see you guys at the start of year number 2. We have a new 9-man rotation here for us in Los Angeles. Obviously, we got a huge upgrade at the starting center spot with Clint Capella. A little bit lacking at the shooting guard spot here with Ochai Bagage, or however you pronounce it. Again, I'm sorry. But the rest of the starting 5 is the same. It's Kyrie Irving, LeBron, and Anthony Davis. So, obviously, still a really talented trio. You might even say we added a 4th here with Clint Capella, and I'm super happy to have him here. What's his contract looking like? Because that also is something I need to note down. He has another year after this, so we'll have control of him throughout the entirety of the video. The bench is absolutely horrible. And the thing that I'm most nervous about through this rebuild is that the fact is LeBron's probably going to retire after this season. We're going to not have any cap space and still a gaping hole at that small forward spot. So if we're going to win it, this is probably our year. Our bench is Austin Reeves, Stanley Johnson, Elfrid Payton, and Damian Jones. It's a 9-man bench, as I mentioned. LeBron does not have a backup, but we're playing these guys a ton of minutes, hoping for the best outcome. I want to win a championship like now because next season might suck. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2. Darius Garland has a career season and wins the MVP award here at the end of year number 2. I've seen him win it a couple times. It's kind of a shocker when it happens, I'm not going to lie, but he deserved it. I mean, that is an absolutely insane season from him. Victor Wembanyama, your rookie of the year, is here. And he is very, very good at basketball. Malachi Branham is your sixth man of the year in San Antonio. Giannis, defensive player of the year. Cam Thomas, most improved. JB Bickerstaff, your coach of the year. Alrighty, let's take a look at the standings. 55-27, that was good enough for the 1 seed over here in Los Angeles. The Pelicans are slowly creeping up behind us. They're obviously very good there in Cleveland with the MVP, coach of the year, and 64 wins. Kyrie led us in scoring again. Then it was LeBron at the age of 39. It's just insane to see him doing that still. Anthony Davis, Okai, I'm getting horrible names. Clint Capella averages 13 and 13, basically. I will take that from him all day long. Elfrid Payton, Austin Reeves, Stanley Johnson, Damian Jones. Got Mason Jones down there as well. Rebounds was Capella, and assists was Mr. LeBron James. So we got Dallas here in round number 1. Luka, Malik Monk, Josh Green, Dorian Finney-Smith, Christian Wood, Tim Hardaway Jr., Dwight Powell. Luka is Luka. I mean, he scares me no matter which way you play him or whatever round it is, but we're just definitely the better team. The Thunder are young, and that's what, that kind of scares me. I'm not going to lie to you. Oh, boy, here we go. We're up 2-1 right now. We're up 3-1, and now we get the Pelicans. Oh, giddy. McCollum, Herbert, Jones, Ingram, Zion. I just have no interest in, dealing with this next year at all. I don't know about you guys. Now, somehow we swept them. I don't know about how you guys feel with this. With the whole Zion being overpowered in 2K thing, but it was maybe cute for a week to start 2K. It's gotten ridiculously out of hand at this point. I'm not going to give you the same speech that I give you in pretty much every video when this happens. I'll keep this one short. Zion's a hell of a player. I think he's going to have a hell of a career if he can stay healthy. Hopefully he does. I'd love to see it as a basketball fan. He's a star. But the fact is that he wins at least one championship in every single video, and they barely make any changes to their roster. It's crazy. You put a healthy Zion on that roster the Pelicans had this year, they're not even close to a finals. Let's just be honest with each other. And I'm not in year 2028 or anything like that. This is 2023, 2024. Let's be realistic here, 2K, at least a little bit. We got LeBron's old team here in the NBA Finals, the franchise that he brought their first and only championship to. Garland, Okoro, Markkanen, Mobley, Jared Allen, Kevin Love, Zubats, Kyle Anderson. Let's see if we can get by them here. We're up 2-0. We go up 2-1, 2-2 right now, so we got a best-of-3 series. We go down 3-2. We're on our home floor here, and what is it, Crypto.com Arena? Whatever the hell, they took away Staples Center. Jerry Buss is rolling over in his grave right now. We win game 6. We are on to game 7. Oh, shit. Oh, wow. Oh. I did not mean to do that, but we won a championship. Kyrie is your finals MVP. All right. 99% sure LeBron retired. No? This dude just doesn't quit. He really doesn't. Oh, my God. All right, let's hit the draft lottery real quick and see what's going on there. Bulls have the top 2 picks. My God almighty. Then you got this Thunder in there as well. Darvin Ham just won us a championship. He's not going anywhere. So, again, I mentioned it earlier in this video. These rebuilds kind of do right themselves, and not a ton is probably going to change with this team for next year, and I'm sorry about it. I may try to get an upgrade at the shooting guard spot, but I just don't really know what else we do at this point. I could maybe use a backup small forward, so Ryan Francis. No idea who you are, from Ohio State. Dedrick Stevens. I feel like I've heard of you before. You're 6'10" at a small forward. Sure. Welcome to Los Angeles. Probably not the highest overall. Actually, 73. We're also getting our boy Yuri Titov here. Welcome back to Los Angeles. Anthony Davis declines. I obviously need to sign him to a contract. Austin Reeves will get the qualifying offer too. Same with Mason Jones. Mason Jones low-key could play. Max Christie as well. I'll just give these guys, these are just roster spots at this point. I want to have Scottie Pippen Jr. on the roster. So they'll all get the qualifying offer. I doubt that any of them are really going to go ahead and actually get real offers elsewhere. I'm going to re-sign LeBron. I got to re-sign Anthony Davis. And yeah, we're pretty much going to be, actually, what are his offers? It's even, he has no real offers, so I can pretty much just give him that. We're in a good spot. I really do think we are. We get both those guys back, so I'm very comfortable right now. We're not going to renounce Scottie Pippen Jr. Elfrid Payton can go. And yeah, so I got the 2 most important guys on the team back, LeBron and Anthony Davis. And yeah, so we're heading into this final season right now. We can take a look at this roster right now. It's not a deep roster at all. Honestly, I'm going to play Dedrick Stevens a little bit. I have no idea who he is, how good at basketball he is. His, is he good at, wow, what is he good at? Really nothing. Maybe I won't play Dedrick Stevens. For the love of God, you're violating bro out here. What is going on with these ratings? All right. So yeah, maybe LeBron won't have a backup at age 40, which is just ridiculous to say. So what I'm going to do right now do I have bird rights on any of these guys right here? I do. I have bird rights on Austin Reeves, who I will pay, and I have bird rights on Mason Jones, who I'll have a contract to as well, just because I honestly think that one of, if not both, these guys could hop into this rotation potentially. I'm going to look for an upgraded shooting guard, though. I make no promises. I'll see you guys with a possible trade. We're doing this deal here with the Celtics. Christian Koloko, Dedrick Stevens, a first-round pick, and our boy Yuri Titoff. It's unfortunate we have to trade him. For Cedi Osman, who's actually going to be the backup to LeBron James here. So LeBron's going to be 40. There's just no way I can really rationalize not having a backup for him. On top of that, we need to improve the bench as well. Cedi Osman definitely does that. So we do need to find a new backup center, and then we're going to basically be all set. Reeves and Mason Jones are both going to play here, but other than that, we are all set. Kem Birch, whatever your name is. Welcome to Los Angeles, our new backup center. I know we went 9-man rotation last year. LeBron is 40. He has to have a backup. I will see you guys at the start of the third and final year. Fresh off a championship, fresh off banner 18 here in Los Angeles. Here's how it's going to look for year number 3. Kyrie Irving, Achai Bagage, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Clint Capella. The bench got a little bit better. Cedi Osman, Kem Birch, Stanley Johnson, Austin Reeves, and Mason Jones. So it's a 10-man rotation once again. It might have worked better last year as a 9-man, but I really cannot explain LeBron not having a backup. And yeah, we're not going to trade Stanley Johnson. He's one of our better bench players, so that's how it's going to be. I'll see you guys at the end of the third and final year. Year 3 is over. 40-year-old LeBron carries us to a 1 seed here in the West. We're also number 1 in the power rankings. Luka's second MVP of this video. Kwame Evans Jr., Rookie of the Year in Chicago. Emmanuel quickly 6th man. A hell of a season from him off the bench. Giannis Defensive Player of the Year, probably like his 6th one of these at this point. Chris Livingston, Most Improved. Darvin Ham, Coach of the Year. We win 62 games this year. So we win our most games ever when LeBron has hit his 40th birthday. 62-20. Not too shabby for the kid from Akron. Kyrie leads us in scoring. Then it was LeBron, Davis, Ochai, Capella, Cedi Osman, Mason Jones, Austin Reeves, Birch. You got Stanley Johnson down there as well. Rebounds was Capella, and assists was Kyrie Irving. So let's sim it, and we got the Houston Rockets. KPJ, Jalen Green, DeMar DeRozan. Not sure how he fits with that squad, but interesting. I got Tingus Pingus there as well. Let's see if we can get by the young and upcoming Rockets. Besides DeMar DeRozan, obviously, because, again, they signed him for some reason. Utah, Scoot Henderson, Donovan Mitchell, Jared Vanderbilt, Andre Drummond, Rui Hachimura, Eric Pascal there as well. Let's see if we can beat Utah here, a team that has, for the past couple seasons, probably for the past 6 to 7 years, always been in the playoffs, just really never did anything. You never really thought, oh, great, Call of Duty updated. You really never thought, like, the Jazz were going to win. And, like, that's one of those things. They're one of those teams. Like, there are certain teams that, like, enter the playoffs. You're like, you're not winning. Like, I hate to do it, but, like, the 76ers, you know they're not winning, but, like, they're consistently in the playoffs. Like, I don't know. Who's another example of that? Like, I can't really think of one off the top of my head, but, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of consistent playoff teams that you, like, you know deep down, you're like, there's not a chance in hell that, like, this team's actually winning, but it's always fun to see them in there. And I'm happy that the Jazz are hopefully going to finally blow it up. We're up 3-2 against the Warriors. We are back to the NBA Finals. We got a rematch with the Cavaliers. It's going to be Garland. They added Tyler Hero. Interesting. It's a very short backcourt at 6'1". And, oh, he's 6'5". I thought Tyler Hero. Never mind. That's my bad. Anderson, Mobley, Allen. It's a very tall front court. That I know at 6'10" and 6'11". Let's see if we can go back-to-back, beat the Cavs. We'll hop in and get a little bit of gameplay as well, because why the hell not? Use 40-year-old LeBron. It's not every day I get to play with LeBron or Kyrie or Anthony Davis. So we get them all in one video. You'll love to see it. We are leading the Cavaliers. Looks like we're going to be sweeping them out of their own building. Let's get a little bit of gameplay. Here in Cleveland, LeBron James's old home. He beat his old team last year in the finals, and we are looking to do it again. Yeah, I'm just going to give it to LeBron. He has 19 points on the night. It's not every day I get to use him, so I'm going to... Okay, that's a foul. It's not every day. So, again, I'll talk about the Kyrie Irving potential trade to the Lakers if it were to happen. Again, I just don't think it's going to happen at this point in time. Mostly I say that because I don't really think they're going to be trading Kevin Durant at this point. That's my prediction at the moment. I don't think Kevin Durant's going to get moved. I think the Celtics report was probably the majority of it was bullshit. I honestly really do. I do not think that the Celtics really gave an effort to try to trade for Kevin Durant. I think Brad Stevens probably inquired, as a good general manager does, but I don't really think there was... Maybe there was some sort of offer. I don't think there was really any traction to it. So, that being said, I just don't see a way that Kevin Durant goes anywhere. I think that his trade value to Brooklyn is too high. If he was an expiring contract, I would say that he's definitely gone, but he's not. He's got 4 years left. They can move him next offseason. Kyrie is obviously gone, and I think if Brooklyn wants to be competitive still, because When you got Kevin Durant, you're going to be competitive no matter what. They might just play the season out with Kyrie Irving. And I know there's been a couple reports that said he might be willing to stick it out in Brooklyn for one more year, and then who knows what's going to happen to him. Maybe the Lakers will find a way to clear up enough cap space next offseason. It's a little different. Like, I hate comparing leagues because I'm not somebody who likes to do that, but like, when you look at like the NFL, like cap space just isn't real. I mean, you can basically sign or trade for anybody you want, and you can move cap space around, you can push deals, you can move it forward, whatever it may be. With any NBA, it's a little bit harder. It definitely is. It's still very much possible. And like, I look at how, like, for example, the Warriors signed Kevin Durant in the summer of 2016. I don't think they had outright cap space to do that. They obviously had to make a couple of moves to have it to happen. So that might not be the best example, but that being said, if there's a will, there's a way. If it's a players' league, to say the least. And if a player wants to be in a certain place, eventually doesn't get his trade request to go through, he'll find a way to get there. So do I think Kyrie will ever be a Laker? Probably. I don't know if it'll be this next upcoming season, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was right after in the 2023-2024 season. So I'm excited to see what happens, though, with all these rumors. Again, who knows what's going to happen. My prediction, as I just mentioned, Kyrie and KD will both still be Nets. Honestly, that team's improved significantly. They're probably a pretty big threat in the East. I don't think enough people are talking about that. I really don't. Like, if that team, you had a lot of good additions. I mean, hell, you added TJ Warren, who, when healthy, is a really underrated player, in my opinion. You got Patty Mills back on a contract. You still have Seth Curry. So, I mean, there are options. You got Joe Harris, hopefully healthy. There are options with this team. There really are. They traded for Royce O'Neal from the Utah Jazz. I mean, there are things you can do here with this team. So, that's all I'll say on that matter. We'll do one more possession here, but that Brooklyn Nets team, it has the potential to be really, really good. And I think they really could be if they kind of just give it one more season and then maybe call it quits after that. So we'll wrap this one up. LeBron hits another free throw. I will see you guys with the finals MVP. Unfortunately, we got the infinite loading screen. It's never going to go away, but you guys all knew what the team looked like. It was obviously just the big three, or big four, if you will. Capella was in there too, of Kyrie, LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Clint Capella. So, again, this was not a realistic rebuild. It was not meant to be a realistic rebuild. I hope none of you thought it was. If you guys did enjoy, though, could do me a favor, leave a like down below. It'd be greatly appreciated. Let me know your thoughts on the Kyrie Irving situation, along with maybe the Kevin Durant situation down below in the comment section. I think this is a fun one to keep an eye on. I just don't think at this point in time that anything is going to happen. So I'm going to stand by my prediction. Knowing me, though, I'll be definitely wrong. But I am obviously excited. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this NBA offseason has been boring by any means. It just hasn't really been up to par, I would say, with some of the other off seasons. And I think a lot of that has to do with this not being a great free agency class. So it does kind of suck, but hopefully next off season's a lot better. But nonetheless, this is still a super fun rumor. Let me know any of your thoughts on it down below in the comment section. Of course, if you guys have not yet, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel and leave any other video ideas down below and a like. That'd be awesome. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.